Most of us assume that major health events, like heart attacks or liver failure, happen suddenly, without warning. We treat the diagnosis like a betrayal by our biology, as if the body simply gave up overnight. In reality, the liver is the body's silent general, managing over 500 functions without a single pain receptor inside its tissue. It cannot scream in pain even as it begins to fail. It can only whisper through the far extremities of your system. Looking at this anatomical study of the liver, you see the network of portal veins making it a central filter. When blocked by scar tissue, back pressure forces blood and hormones to find detours at the body's edges. Intercepting a disease before it becomes a medical emergency requires looking past the center and reading the biological signals showing up at your hands, at your own belly, and in your stride. Hold your hands out in front of you and examine the nail beds. Look for famine lines, distinct horizontal white bands running parallel to the base. These lines indicate the liver has stopped manufacturing albumin, the protein responsible for maintaining blood pressure. This deficiency forces the microscopic blood vessels under the nail to physically change their architecture, leaving behind those ghostly white tracks. Now flip your hands over and check the fleshy pads under your thumb and pinky. If you see a mottled, deep red color that spares the center of the palm, you are looking at the crimson map. This redness signals estrogen dominance. Because a clogged liver cannot filter and trash used hormones, the excess estrogen acts as a vasodilator, forcing the capillaries in your palms to blow wide open under pressure. To test your neurology, lock your elbows, bend your wrists back, and close your eyes. If your hands lose muscle tone and flap forward before snapping back, a sign called asterixis, you have a zombie flap. This occurs because a failing liver allows ammonia, a neurotoxin, to enter the blood and cross the blood-brain barrier. That ammonia momentarily short-circuits your motor neurons, causing your brain to lose its connection to your hands. Your hands act as a real-time readout of your metabolic and hormonal state, showing you what standard checkups often miss. Now look at the shape of your stomach. Medical advice often groups all abdominal weight into the generic category of fat, but the specific shape of your belly reveals a unique biological trigger. A hard drum belly is high, tight, and protruding. It feels like a pressurized tire and does not jiggle when moved. This pressurized bulge is trapped plasma leaking directly from a damaged organ. When a scarred liver acts as a mechanical wall, blood flow creates massive back pressure. This forces fluid to sweat through vein walls and pool in your abdomen, creating that hard, distended shape. A calorie deficit diet or treadmill sessions fail here because the problem is a mechanical plumbing breakdown rather than an excess of food. The second belly type is the hormonal pouch, a soft, squishy layer of fat that sits low, right above the beltline. This shape is often linked to xenoestrogens, synthetic chemicals found in heated plastics that hijack your hormonal receptors and signal the body to store stubborn subcutaneous fat in the lower abdomen. The third shape is the stress apron, a layer of visceral fat that wraps deeply around your heart, liver, and intestines. This apron is built by chronic cortisol. In the wild, cortisol spikes so you can run from a predator. In our modern world, that same spike happens while sitting perfectly still at a desk. Cortisol breaks down your muscle tissue into sugar for emergency energy, but because you aren't moving, insulin captures that sugar and stores it as visceral fat right in the center of your body. Your midsection provides a visible record of your primary disruptor, whether it's liver stress, plastic exposure, or the metabolic fallout of modern anxiety. Clinical research shows the liver can regenerate even after 70% of its tissue is removed, provided you neutralize the environment that injured it. Reversing the damage requires specific compounds like TUDCA, a bile salt that thins out liver sludge, and the strict elimination of liquid sugars that create microscopic scratches on your arterial walls. Spacing your meals for 16 hours triggers your internal recycling program, autophagy. The body begins dismantling and dissolving rusted cholesterol into clean energy. Recovery happens when you prioritize this internal cellular sweep over simple calorie counting. Your stride is a neurological signature, as the brain must coordinate hundreds of tiny muscle adjustments to maintain balance. When this connection fails, it manifests as short, shuffling steps, a marker that the visual and motor centers of the brain are already beginning to degenerate. You can interrupt this neurological decline by combining a deliberately lengthened stride with deep diaphragmatic belly breathing every day. This specific movement pattern signals biological safety to the brain, which lowers blood pressure and effectively shuts off the cortisol stress response. From white lines on your nails to the pressure in your belly and the length of your steps, the signs are there. Your body acts as a living ledger of every internal shift. You can now identify these markers yourself long before they appear on a clinical lab report.